Can you please tell us a bit about yourself?
My name is Sydney Ruff, and I am the Senior Director of Admissions at Landmark. I am also an alumna.
Can you tell us a bit more about Landmark College?
And we are a optimally sized school, we'll call it, with 450 students and a 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio. One of the biggest parts to a Landmark education is we are specifically designed for neurodiverse students. And over the years, we started with an associate's degree program, working really exclusively with students with dyslexia and language-based learning disabilities. And then over the years, added ADHD and of course, autism spectrum a little bit later beyond that. And right now we have 6 different bachelor's degrees, ranging from communications to psychology, computer science, biology, and liberal studies. And then we also have 5 different associate's degrees as well. The college is located in Putney, Vermont. And if you've never been to Putney, it really is one of those quintessential New England towns.
Could you share some of Landmark's foundational principles?
So when Landmark was founded, it was always the goal and still remains the goal to work with students who are neurodivergent, and we really want to destigmatize any sense that a student has around their disability as being a negative component to their learning, and that's not the way that we see it. We want a student to truly understand the way that they learn, and that starts from day one here at Landmark. It's so important that a student understands both their strengths as well as their challenges, and we want them to use them at the same time. And it's truly an incredible experience to really be in this place that is embracing every element of the student.
How does Landmark's approach differ from more traditional colleges with autism support programs?
One of the major differences between Landmark's program and any other college is our approach and very much a team environment when we're working with the students. One thing that I think is important for people to remember is even though Landmark has a lot of support, it's not there to be, an unrealistic environment. I think one of the fears that I had as a student was, if Landmark is so supportive and no place else can match that support, how much are we really preparing the student for the future? And that was really not the best way to interpret what Landmark is doing. All of our supports are integrated into what we do to give a student an opportunity in experimenting with what works for their own learning style. So when they're in some of their foundation courses at Landmark, they're really being asked to dive into the way that they learn and figuring out specific strategies that are designed for their own learning style. And part of that is kind of figuring out what works best. And so, as part of the experience, if a student isn't a great note taker, we don't want the student to just say, well, let me have the faculty's notes on that, because it's not really teaching the student very much in the process. So we might use that as an option for a student to use in the future, but we also want to be teaching that student how can they better take notes in class. And so much of Landmark isn't just about the experience here, but it's really preparing a student for what to expect in the future as well. One of the pillars, I guess, in what you can expect from your Landmark education here is we want the student to be part of the process all the way through. So we don't want the student to feel like they're on the outside of a conversation that would help them in further developing. So that starts with this portal of information that the student can log into on any given day at any given time and find out exactly how they're doing in each of their classes. And this is also a communication effort that the college puts forth too, where instead of just sending an email to a student from a professor, that email then goes through this portal So now whoever's working with that student also sees that same message from the faculty member.
Big thanks to Sydney Ruff and Landmark College. Please subscribe to Inclusive Academia.